Today we are going to take a look at the Konica IIIM. I recently picked this camera up offline and I took it with me to Las Vegas where I put a test roll through it. I'm super excited to have this camera and it was a blast to use. I ended up putting some Kodak Colorplus through it because I was shooting out in Las Vegas and I was shooting around sunset and sunrise. And I really thought this would do a great job at capturing the colors with this Konica camera. Now this Konica camera is pretty legendary. Some people call it the Japanese Leica because the 50mm that is attached to this lens was actually modeled after the Leica Summicron 50mm, I believe. And it is tack sharp from what I've read online. And I'm super excited to see my test roll that I sent through it. I haven't looked at my test roll yet. I thought it would be really cool to kind of look at the photos I captured with you guys so you can see my first reaction to the photos I captured. I received my scans back pretty recently, so I have them on my computer right now. So let's jump into the computer and take a look at the scans I was able to capture with my Konica IIIM. Okay, Lightroom is opening now and my photos are being imported. This is pretty exciting. I love sending film into a lab and getting the scans back because half the time I forgot what I even shot, and it's really that element of surprise, which is amazing. This is what makes shooting film so great, the nostalgic feeling of not getting an instant reaction to your film shots, but a couple weeks later coming back and seeing those photos. It really is just something that keeps me coming back and shooting film over and over again. All right, let's import these. My eyes are closed. All right, awesome. So let's start with the first photo. This first photo here was actually taken from the balcony of the hotel room I was staying at. I loaded up my film with the Kodak Plus, and I was really just so excited to start shooting it. I thought this was a great opportunity to test the rangefinder in the Konica IIIM. Unfortunately, I don't think my rangefinder was aligned. When I was trying to focus on something which was 3 or 4 feet away, I did notice that the meter reading was reading around 10 feet, so I might have to get my rangefinder adjusted. So this first photo looks great here. Again, I did also get low-end scans here, so this isn't going to be the highest quality, but I know once I get my film back, I'm going to be able to scan these myself and really work with them. Really, this was just a test roll to see what I was able to capture with the IIIM and the fixed 50mm on it. Also, I wanted to ensure I didn't have any light leaks or anything wrong with the camera before taking this on a serious photo trip. Awesome, so these next couple shots were just taken from my hotel room, and I can see I was able to focus at infinity and the photos look pretty sharp here. I'm going to just go to my develop so that I can zoom in a little bit. And if I zoom into 300, you can see the sharpness is pretty good on this, especially since I am shooting a lower grade film such as Kodak Colorplus. I don't expect the sharpest images here, but I can definitely mess around in post to bring this image a little bit more to life. So this is when I was able to go out on the strip here. I love this shot here of the Eiffel Tower. And again, I was focusing at infinity and everything looks to be semi-okay. Now this photo here was taken on the bridge that goes from Caesars to the Bellagio. I know it was around sunrise when I was shooting this, so I was trying to get the sun in the distance. Looks like I overexposed it a little bit, but I'm still pretty happy with this shot here. Wow, so now I'm on the bridge and I'm looking back at the Flamingo. This is a pretty cool area to be shooting in. One thing I am noticing from the Colorplus is everything does have a very warm tone to it. This is one of the characteristics that Colorplus does have. It is going to be similar to Kodak Gold, but I thought I would get a little bit more punchy colors, but again, I'm going to mess with this in post and see what I can bring back. So this shot is on the bridge that you walk across to from Caesars in order to go to the Flamingo. And I thought this was such an amazing area to kind of take photos at just because there's so much going on, and you have the Eiffel Tower, you have the Paris sign, you have the sign for the Aria, and having the 50mm, I know I was a little bit tighter, but I really wanted to compress everything on the strip here. Okay, so this is super cool. So one of the best features about the Konica IIIM is it does have a self timer on it. So I thought this was awesome. At this point, I kind of figured my rangefinder was not working, so I was actually just using the metering. I was setting this to, I believe, f2.8 or f3.5, and I was metering between 3 and 5 feet away. And I'm actually really happy with this photo. This photo looks great, and it looks like I am in focus. This is a great spot for portraits in Vegas. Again, it is the bridge that goes from Caesars to Flamingo. And overall, I'm very happy with this shot. Looks like we got a couple artifacts there, but this shot looks great and the self timer is amazing, especially because I was traveling by myself and I wanted to capture some film shots. I'm very happy with this right now. I believe this was at sunset and I am still on that same bridge, and I saw these wonderful looking palm trees that kind of just align on the road. And I was like, I'm shooting Colorplus. I really wanted to see what the greens would do with Kodak Colorplus. It looks like the greens are a little bit duller, but again, I can bring this up in post. And at the end, I am going to edit a couple photos and really bring them to life so we can see what that looks like. But so far, I'm very happy with this roll I was able to capture. So here's a close-up of the flamingo shot. The flamingo, I wish I went back at nighttime, but this is a really cool shot, especially for kind of street photography. I love this couple here that's kind of looking, it looks like they just got to the flamingo and maybe they're looking for their next adventure. Then you have a couple people walking into the casino, and this is really overall a pretty cool shot, and I'm really happy with the colors here. Okay, so this is another self-timer shot. Again, I do have a big trip coming up, and I really wanted to make sure the self-timer on the Konica IIIM was working well for my upcoming trip. And I was focusing by meter. I would eye out 3 to 5 feet, whatever the meter was reading, and was going to tell me it was going to be in focus, setting it up on a tripod, and it seemed to work pretty well. Okay, this next shot here is amazing. It looks like I was in focus. I tried focusing on the statue here, and it was around sunrise. So we do have the sun, it coming in a little bit over here. Looks great, super happy with it. Okay, so this is that same shot, and this shot is around sunrise. So the other one must have been taking at sunset. And you can see I am getting a little bit more blue and a little bit more of the mountains here. So I prefer this shot to the first shot, but I love this composition here with the tree line going to the mountains, and then you have a little bit of the road and the hotel in the distance. Looks great. Okay, cool. So this is another self-timer shot here, and really I wanted to capture myself walking by. I think the camera may have gone off before I was really set up for the shot, but it looks like I am in focus, and I'm pretty happy with the way these shots are turning out. So this was around sunset, I believe. I went back out because you do see some of the lights on the flamingo, and I wanted to see what Colorplus was doing. I know this is a ISO 200 film, so I know I needed to really open up my lens, and I believe this was taken at 1.8, which is as much as this lens opens on the Konica IIIM. Now we have another morning shot, and let's see, so I was metering myself here for I believe 10 to 12 feet away, and I did put a mini tripod on the bottom of my Konica just so I could set it at different places, and that looks pretty cool. I'm happy with it. So this morning I knew I was leaving Vegas, and I wanted to go through the rest of my film roll in the morning because I did not want to go through TSA with my film roll in my camera. I wanted to hand check it at the airport. By the way, the TSA agents in Las Vegas were great. They hand checked my film and I had no issues with it. So really I was going around the Bellagio and that area of Vegas, just trying to get through the rest of my film roll. So let's go through these shots here. This was around sunrise, and these are cool. These are really cool shots. I love the vintage feel that this Kodak Colorplus is giving me on my Konica IIIM. This is a cool shot here. So if you've ever been to Vegas, this is the tunnel that you kind of walk down to get to this strip from the Bellagio. And I saw these two people walking, and they were in the distance. So I thought this would make for a great composition. I set my camera to infinity, and I tried focusing on them, and I waited till they're right under the lights, so I knew I can kind of capture those leading lines leading up to them in this photo. Okay, so this photo, it looks like we do have some flaring and light leaks. So I just have to be aware when shooting into the direct sun, I might get some light flares on this lens. Again, this lens is from the 1960s, I believe. I believe this camera was made around 1968. So the way it is performing for over a 50-year-old lens is still great in my books. This was on the strip looking back at the Eiffel Tower. I do like the blues I am capturing here, and also the green palm trees. It's also pretty cool to see on scale because you do have that small car in the corner there. What is shooting a film roll if you do not capture a shot of yourself in a mirror? So this photo here, I actually walked up to a mirror and I held my camera up, and I think I metered it for around 5 or 6 feet, and I took the shot, and I'm pretty happy with it. It looks cool. I think there's a little distortion in the mirror, which kind of adds to the photo. I was walking past the Cosmopolitan, and there is a little bridge that you can go out to, which kind of overlooks the strip going down in the distance. They have this amazing building of Louis Vuitton and Prada. So I thought the architecture was wonderful. So I was like, I'll take a shot here. It was around sunrise, so there was some amazing light hitting it. And overall, what I am noticing with these photos is they are a little dull. So I am going to have to bring a little bit more saturation to them in post, which is fine. However, I did think shooting Kodak Colorplus, I would get a little bit more color because the color on Kodak Plus is supposed to be really punchy. Again, I did get some very basic scans done from my lab. I'll have to see once I do my home scanning to see if I could pull a little bit more color from this Kodak film roll. I know this shot here, I was metering for 15 to 20 feet, shooting around 2.8. And I think it looks great. I was able to get the palm trees and mostly focus, it looks like, and have the Vegas Strip in the background. This shot here I thought would turn out cooler. I may have been looking through the viewfinder, it didn't align everything correctly. I did want to capture this person to show the scale of the strip. However, I wanted to show them a little bit more down in the lower angle there. But I know once I crop this photo too, I can bring them up a little bit. And this is really the photo that I was looking to capture in camera. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to, but I can crop it in post. And this photo here is just focused to infinity, but overall, very happy with the shots I was able to capture. This photo is looking back at the Bellagio. Again, at this point, I was really just trying to get through my film roll because I had to get to the airport. And overall, I'm very happy with the results I was able to get. Again, looking out at the Bellagio, you see Caesars there. I was staying at Caesars, so this was an easy walk for me to go back to and really capture the photos at sunrise. This photo is okay. I was shooting through the tree line to try to get a little bit more depth. I think at this point I was shooting at 5.6. That's what my meter was reading on my phone. So I didn't have as much depth as I may have liked to. Okay, so this photo here, I thought I was trying to focus at infinity. It looks like I was focusing a little bit closer, so I probably forgot to change my focusing on my camera. All good, we have these mistakes. This photo looks great. I love the green, and I love how it kind of circles the fountain and everything leads your eyes to that fountain. The green in front of the Bellagio is amazing, and it's really beautiful, especially at sunrise. Awesome, so we do have this shot here of a jogger running by. I was trying to get him in the sun. Okay, and this is my last shot, and this shot I remember I was setting it up and I was trying to get a shot of myself walking by, but I was taking my time, and because it is only a 10-second timer, I wasn't able to get to the spot I initially wanted, but overall I'm still happy with this photograph. Okay, so after looking at my photos, I am really happy with the results I was able to capture on the Konica IIIM. Again, if you see this camera in the wild, I can recommend picking it up. It is a heavy camera, it is heavy and is well built. You can't go wrong with this camera, especially a camera that is over 50 years old and able to get results like this. I'm very happy with the film results I was able to get on it. And I think I am going to be able to trust this on upcoming trips that I have. I do have some CineStill 800T, which I am dying to use. So I am planning on throwing a roll through this Konica IIIM to see those results I'm able to capture. So I did go back through and edit some of my photos in Lightroom. Here are some of my favorite photos I was able to capture out in Las Vegas. Awesome, well thank you again guys for tuning into this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this content of me shooting film on my Konica IIIM. If you want to see my other video I shot in Las Vegas, you can check out that video right here or right here. Please like and subscribe to my channel because you know it helps my channel grow, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.